Good morning. Welcome again to Morning Devotions. Thank you again so much for our time together. We're approaching the end of a year of reading through the Bible verse by verse. Thank you so much for your faithfulness all this year. I want us to look at a verse today that not only teaches us prophetic events, which is how we usually look at it, but it also teaches us some principles about money and wealth today that sometimes we maybe need to take a closer look at. Revelation 18, beginning with verse 9. When the kings of the earth who committed adultery with her and shared her luxury see the smoke of her burning, they will weep and mourn over her. Terrified at her torment, they will stand afar off and cry, Woe, woe, O great city, O Babylon, city of power! In 1 hour your doom has come. Now look at verse 11. The merchants of the earth will weep and mourn over her because no one buys their cargoes anymore. Now down at verse 15. The merchants who sold these things and who gained their wealth from her will stand afar off, terrified at her torment. One more verse. Verse 19. Woe, woe, O great city, where all the ships of the sea became rich through her wealth. I want you to notice some principles about wealth today. Some very negative principles. The Bible teaches us that you can't serve both God and money. Money will literally become a god in some people's lives. I want you to see the power of wealth. The power of wealth attracts and controls powerful people, politicians, kings. Now sometimes we think that powerful people are the ones that have money, but oftentimes people of power do not have money. So they gravitate to the people who have money. It attracted them in verse 9. They committed adultery with her and shared her luxury. Now the thing you notice is that when people of power, kings, politicians, when people of power come around and are attracted to people of wealth, they share in their luxury. But in order to share in their luxury, they have to commit adultery. They have to commit to the lifestyle. They have to commit to the lifestyle of the people with money. So really the people with money are the ones that rule, not the political rulers. The political rulers commit to the lifestyle of the people with the wealth. Now that's an interesting thought that you need to think about. It's amazing how people of money control the lifestyle of other people. If you want to share in the luxury, you have to commit to their lifestyle. In other words, they're not going to change for you to be a part of their life. You have to change to be a part of their life and share in the luxury. Second thing I want you to notice here, it attracts businessmen, verse 15. And it attracts businessmen because that's where you gain your wealth. The merchants who sold these things and gained their wealth from her will stand far off, terrified at her torment. People hang around wealth because they want to be in that machine where wealth is being created. They want to be where the money is moving. Wealth is created where money is moving. And it's one of those things you have to stand back and watch a little bit, because you'll watch businessmen all flock to an area where wealth is moving, where wealth is being created because they want to gain wealth. When the Philippines was poor, you didn't see any foreign investors try to come here into the country. You didn't see anybody putting money into our stock market. They avoided us like the plague. But now that we're one of the hottest economies in the world, wealth attracts businessmen. Wealth attracts the merchants because that's where they gain wealth, is in an environment where wealth is moving. But also notice, back down in verse 19, they became rich through her wealth. Wealth attracts because that's where people can become rich. You can't become rich in a poor area. You become rich in a wealthy area. Now, I say these things just to teach you the principles, not to come against them or to be for them, but to teach you the principles and to teach you that as Christians, we live beyond and above these principles. God gives us the ability to produce wealth. We don't need to be in an environment of wealth to produce wealth because of God's presence in our lives. God gives us the ability to produce wealth. So when you see all these people acting like this, understand what's going on, but understand we're not like that. Because we have the promises of God and we have the presence of God. God will bless the work of your hands.